there. I'm so glad you're with us tonight. And if you're not with us tonight, you're going to get to see a treat because tonight I have with me Teresa Velardi, and she is the founder of Authentic Endeavors Publishing, a hybrid publishing company. Boy, this company can publish all kinds of books. She's a passionate advocate for storytelling, and she helps others get their stories told. Her popular daily book gift series is what we are talking about tonight, and this book series presents short stories on a particular topic like gratitude, hope, kindness, and peace. And then friendship will be launching right before the holidays. So let me go ahead and bring my friend on, and she'll join us here. Teresa, welcome. Hi.
Hi, Renee. Thanks so much for having me. I'm excited.
I'm so glad you're here.
Yeah,
I'm
me
so
too.
glad you're here. So let's just dive into this great topic. So I'm excited. What made you want to start a daily gift book series?
That's a great question. It was really kind of an assignment from God because, I'm a potter, I'm a ceramic artist. And I know that was a gift that I got in my hands because the first time I made pottery, the teacher said to me, "You've done this before." And I was like, not really, but yeah, I guess maybe I came with this talent, this gift. And so one day I was like, okay, God, what do you want me to do with this? Is this why I'm here? Do you want me to just beautify the planet a little bit with my pots and let everybody beautify their homes? Or is there something else? And I heard in my spirit that there was books. And so I wasn't sure what that meant, but I have been journaling for a very long time. And I thought maybe it was something to do with that, maybe my own book, whatever. But then I got a tap on my shoulder for daily, something to do daily, a daily gift. And the first one I got the assignment was supposed to be gratitude because all things, when I think about gratitude, I think about the Sermon on the Mount and the feeding of the 5,000 and how, with just a thank you to the Lord in heaven, Jesus was able to take a little boy's lunch and provide food for the masses with 12 baskets left over. So I was like, I had a gratitude practice and I was like, yeah, let me do that. All right, I'll do that one. It took me a while to get started, but once I got rolling, there's no stopping it now.
There's no stopping it now. There's a song like that in there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's exciting. So the first one was gratitude.
Yeah.
Second one was hope.
Yep. Yeah. So gratitude. This is the gratitude book. You can find these on Amazon. This is gratitude. And the second one is hope, daily gift of hope. And I chose this lighthouse because lighthouses are the beacons of hope for sailors lost at sea. And so I thought, gratitude actually breeds hope. And so that became the second one. And so those two were launched a year apart from one another. The first one came out in 2022. Hope came out in 2023. And I've been gathering authors for books over the last few years, and it's been fun. Sometimes it's like herding cats to get all the stories together, but it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, let's talk about that. So, how does that work? Because you don't write these books all yourself.
No.
The stories in here come from different authors or different people, maybe even people that have never authored a book, but they have a story to tell, right?
Right. Everybody has a story to tell. It's just a matter of how are you going to do it? And especially for people who are like, well, I can't write a whole book. How am I going to get it all together? A lot of people are like afraid to write a whole book. I'm like, okay, well, let's have you just dip your toe in the waters of writing by I'm writing 250, 275, 300 words, whatever it is, for one of the pages of a daily gift. And, the topic they find a way to find a story about the topic, and each person writes a page in the book, and they get their bio in there. And if they are working on something else, they get the opportunity to put it in the bio so that people who have the book will know that they have something else coming. And it's a lot of new authors, people who have never authored anything before, come in because it gives them practice on how to write, number one, because we edit everything and we get it formatted beautifully. Right. It gets them, in the water, so to speak, to writing, and then they can grow from there.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So if somebody wanted to be like in the next book, which is friendship, because
Right.
piece is done, it just hasn't
Been
it
launched
hasn't
out.
made its debut yet. But that's kind of what we're talking about today. But if they wanted to be in the next one, which is friendship, oh, I love that. I love that topic. I love
Yeah.
that. Friends are so important, right?
Agreed. Who do you trust with your deepest, darkest secrets? Your friend, right? Or your best friend, besides God, of course. Who do
Yeah,
you who's the first person you call when you have something exciting happen? One of your friends, right?
right.
And there's and this, I'm hoping, my goal is to have the friendship book out around Thanksgiving time, because you know people, especially during the last few years with COVID and whatnot, people did not go home for Thanksgiving, because especially, and the gatherings were smaller because of the limitations that were put on us by the powers that be, if you will. But now it's like everybody was doing like a Friendsgiving instead of going, traveling and whatever. So my goal with Daily Gift of Friendship is that we'll have an abundance of stories about friendship that can be shared actually around the table at Thanksgiving, if we can get it out in time. If not, it can be purchased as a gift for Christmas, and people can really learn the value of friendship.
Oh, that is so good. So people, if they want to do this, they can go to www.dailygiftbookseries.com, correct?
Correct. Yeah, correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Good.
so they just so that you know, so the book after hope was kindness. That's this one. And this is up on Amazon as well. And then the next one, as you said, is a daily gift of peace. Now, just so that you know, that book is going to come out on World Peace Day. And that's actually, it's going to be up on Amazon on the 21st, which is World Peace Day. And we are going to launch it on the 23rd, which is that following Tuesday, where we'll have some of the authors on my podcast to talk about their experience in writing a daily gift of peace.
Oh, peace is such a
Yeah,
great subject, because the world needs love, peace, joy, all the gifts of the spirit. And
absolutely.
um, these are things that these topics are things that people need in their life.
I
They
agree.
need that, and I bet some of them will be so encouraged when they buy this book and they get it, and all these stories will just encourage them. I know I wrote a story in kindness, and,
Mm-hmm.
and the story was about young people today doing random acts of kindness,
Yeah,
which blows my mind,
yeah,
because they are just like, they don't think anything about it. I had a young man in a dollar store. I was just getting some poster board, and he turned around and he told the lady, "Just put hers on my bill."
oh wow.
It was probably only, I don't know, 16, 17. And so I started to say no, but the Lord stopped me because he needed that blessing that
Yeah.
came from that. But oh, how that blessed me, that young person. And then my granddaughter
Mm.
raised actually sought after equipment to start a hair salon, to do hair for the homeless. She's a hairdresser.
Oh, nice.
So, that to me, those two stories were like, I got to tell these
Yeah.
stories
Yeah.
because that was amazing to me that these young people are they're so free with giving kindness to people and doing things for people. So I love to see what God's doing in the young people these days,
And there's so many things that are happening. I mean, if there's a couple of people who actually will pose like if you look at YouTube or the shorts on Facebook or whatever, and you'll see somebody who is like asking for help when they really don't need help, and if the person is kind to them and gives them the help that they think they need, even leaving themselves short from what they actually have to buy in the store or whatever the circumstance is. And then this person who's posing as someone in need blesses them with an abundance of cash, or helps them to get a job, or there's just so many things going out there that the world doesn't necessarily recognize with all the noise that's going on. And that's, Renee, that's one of the reasons that these books are so important, and they play on one another. So from gratitude, when you have gratitude, if you didn't have a grateful heart before you started reading about gratitude or practicing gratitude through a gratitude journal every day, then a lot of people don't have hope. I mean, I know people in my life that once they started having a gratitude practice, it built hope in their lives. And when you are grateful and you have hope for yourself, you have hope for others. So it brings it to kindness. And if you put the three of them together, you have a heart that's filled with peace because you're living a good life in the eyes of the Lord.
I love that. I love that. I love that. And then you add in friendship, which, he is, well, he's my best friend. I know that. But I do have a best friend, and I have a lot of really great friends. But there's always sometimes that one that is like history. You got history with, right? Let's don't even go there.
Yeah. Yeah. But something, even if you don't go there, whether the person is still in your life or not, one of the things that I have to do with myself, as far as when people are either they fade away or the relationship dwindles down to and you lose touch or whatever, and whether it was a good or a difficult parting of ways. I always look at, what did this person bring into my life that I can learn? And what is it about this situation or circumstance that I can do to make my other relationships better, or take inventory of what's working, what's not working. Every situation, every experience we have is a learning lesson. So take what you like and leave the rest, as they say.
Absolutely. Pick out the bone, take the meat and leave the bones, right?
There you go. Exactly.
Spoken like a true chef, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but this is an amazing opportunity for people, and these books. No, so you normally the price of the books is what?
Usually they are $15.99, but when we launch a new one, as we will do on September 23rd, so mark that on your calendar. We launched the new book at $10, and then I put all the other books on sale for $10 as well. So what a way to get a couple of really great gifts for people in your life that would love to have something to read just a day, a little bit of inspiration just to start your day, or you're feeling down about something. Let me see, and just flip through the book and find something that that works for you. So $10.
$10. You can't even get a gift for $10. What? Much less something that is filled with so much inspiration. So that is September 23rd.
Right.
They will all be on sale for $10. So
$10 each.
I know I'm going to pick up some. I'm going to pick up some on the 23rd. Yeah. And two, wait until the 23rd and order on the 23rd, because that helps the Get Daily Gift series raise in the rankings on Amazon as a bestseller. So,
Right.
there's a little method to your madness. So, if you're going to order one, order it on the 23rd, and that helps to jump the books in the ranks
Right.
of Amazon bestsellers. So,
Right.
that's a great way that people can get perfect gifts and help to push the book up higher to be seen, because algorithms are how everything happens. So if you get up there in the bestseller rank, then that's going to put you in the algorithms that you need to be in so your book can be seen. So y'all go out there on the 23rd of September and boss, do some early Christmas shopping.
There you go.
10
There you
of
go.
them. Get 10 of them, all different ones, because you get to get them all for $10 a piece. That is amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And you know what else too? For the people who contributed to the books, you're helping them as well, because once these books, and every single one of them has hit bestseller rank, every one of them has done that. And so when you are an author in one of these books, you get to say that you are an author in a best-selling book series. And that's a little thing that you can hang on your hat and say, hey, I did good. I put a good story in there, and look, I've been blessed with a title, an author is in a best-selling book series. And it's really good. It's really good. And it's fun for me to see the smiles on people's faces when they see that the book has made it. Yeah. And that they can grab that kudo for themselves, so it's really
exciting.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Yeah.
I have several books, and you published one of my books.
Mhm.
So you have more than one publishing. What do you call that? Imprint.
Mhm.
So you have Spirit Endeavors, right?
Mhm.
Is that right? That's the
Yeah.
one that my book. But what's your other one?
So the main publishing company is Authentic Endeavors Publishing. And under that company, we have Book Endeavors, which is children's books, Kingdom Book Endeavors, which is children's, Kingdom Kids Book Endeavors, which is Christian children's books. And then we have Kingdom Book Endeavors, which are Christian books, Spirit Book Endeavors, which are very spiritual books, Christian books. They cross the line. And then I have now I have Daily Gift Books, which is going to be strictly for the book series. And then I have I have a passion project with Born Able, and that is a not-for-profit organization that writes books for kids with medically complex illnesses. And it's just, yeah, so I have that. And Weeby Books is another one. So we have a bunch of different imprints. So there's a place for somebody. Oh, and Wellness Book Endeavors too. There's a place for everybody within the publishing company with an imprint that's going to suit your content, so that you get the best exposure using those particular imprints.
That's why you're called a hybrid publishing company, right?
Well, a hybrid publishing company is actually the middle ground between traditional publishing, where you get a what do you call them? A representative of some sort. To put your, you have to get somebody to advocate for you to be able to get a contract with a big publisher, well-known publisher, and then they basically print your book. And a lot of times you lose your rights to your content and so forth and so on. And then there's self-publishing, which you do it all yourself. You get your own ISBN number. You have to figure out all the ropes on everything that has to happen. And we know that there's a lot that goes into this, right, Renee?
It's a lot harder than anybody thinks.
Yeah. So I'm the one that can help you to get published without having to go to an agent. That's right. Get that without having to go to an agent to get published with a company that may or may not give you a royalty, an advance on whatever. And then you have to sell enough books in order to be able for them to get their money back. Otherwise, you have to pay it back for the most part. And then you could potentially lose your content, your rights to your content. But what I do is you just give me permission to publish your book. You get an ISBN number that belongs to the imprint that you are in under the Authentic Endeavors Publishing. All the royalties go to you. I don't take the royalties. I just provide the service for you to be able to have a publisher backing the book that you want to write. And so I often say that we make you look like the superstar that you already are.
I love that. And you do, because like we just discussed, it is not as easy. I mean, if you're just doing some little fly by night, something that you let AI make up or something like that, then that's a different story. However, but if you're really, I mean, there's a lot that goes into writing a book and doing it right and having it edited right and all those things. There's so much, so much more if you want it to be done correctly.
Yeah.
So having someone to help you along the way is a good thing. Now you're a mentor and, as a book publication mentor in the Daughters United space. So women that are in the Daughters United platform, our community, they can find you there and get help with their books. And some of those ladies are going to be in this book,
right?
Because they had the opportunity to be in this book this time. So it's really exciting to see how you are so generous and with your help. You're never stingy with people that need help along the way. And I think that's a beautiful thing, whether they're paying you to help them or not. You're always so kind and so generous with your wisdom and your knowledge. So I love that. Why do you think storytelling matters, and how can that transform people's lives?
Well, that's a really good question. One of the things that comes to mind is legacy. Like, who's going to tell my grandkids, what I'm all about? Families are all over the country, in different countries. They're all over the world. And so when you write a book, or you tell your story in one of these books, it leaves something for the next generation. It needs something for your family and the next generation. And it could be something that's true. It could be a fictional account. There are a lot of people who write novels that the characters in the novels represent people in their lives. And they're really telling a story, but they're doing it in a manner that it's an actual fictional account, but it's actually something that happened in their lives. And it's just a great way to leave your life experience to the next generation and generations beyond that. There are many, many books that have been written and are used in classrooms and used in a variety of different ways for people to learn the story and pass it on, because there's something in, I don't care who you are or what you think, you might not say, oh, that was a good book, and set it aside and that's it. But let me assure you that somewhere along the line, you're going to say, I read that in a book somewhere, and it will come back to your mind, and that book will be important to you. And the same thing will happen to the people in the next generation, happened for generations before us, and it will continue. So that's one of the biggest things. The other thing is that, if you have gone through something strenuous, something challenging, even something really great, and you found your way to the other side of it, okay, I think we have a responsibility to share it so that the next person can get a hand up from your experience, or will have the courage to do something that they didn't think they could do, but because you shared your experience, they're going to go for it, and they're going to have a really good experience, simply because somebody paved the path before them for them to walk, and knowing that they came out the other side.
The Bible talks about that, right?
Yeah.
In Revelation, says
Mhm.
we will overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony.
That's right.
So a lot of times when you're writing or telling stories, I know that in my book, I was teaching on forgiveness, and I was talking about fishing because I love to fish, right?
Mhm.
So I was talking about how you have to bait the fish and how the enemy uses bait to get us into his trap of unforgiveness. So,
Mhm.
these kind of things. And why did I do that? Because I was bound for many years in
Mhm.
unforgiveness. So by writing that, somebody else will get set free
Yeah.
because of that. And a lot of books, oh my goodness, so many writers, so many Christian writers, I will use their quotes and things like that, or things that I learned from their books to
Mhm.
help me in ministry, because
Mhm.
that's what I do. That's what
Yeah.
I'm called to do. I'm called to be a minister of the gospel. But you don't learn those things necessarily all in your lifetime, but you can take someone else's story
Mhm.
they've told about what happened in their lifetime, and that can help you help someone else to get on the right path and get on the right road in their life. So that
Exactly.
that storytelling is important, isn't it?
It is. And you know, I advocate for people to tell their stories because of the fact that they're so important, for the reasons that you just explained and then I said before you, because we are here to help one another along the way. So, you
Mm.
know, and you never know who's going to read your story. You never know who's going to call you and say, "Hey, I read the story and I think that we can do this, that, whatever." And collaborations and happen from what you put out there. It's just it kind of takes on a life of its own once you tell your story, so it takes on a life of its own and it makes a difference. And you're absolutely right. Our testimonies are important. God wants us to talk to one another, share our wins and our losses, so that we can grow as individuals and have a good life, an abundant life experience. Right? We were just talking about abundance.
Yes,
Yes.
we were.
Uh-huh.
And it's like that, skipping a stone and or even throwing a stone in the water, that ripple effect
Mm-hmm.
will go on for generation after generation after generation. And that can be true for all your words. So, you know, that saying, keep your words soft and sweet, for someday you may have to eat them. But the Bible tells us, that life and death are in the power of the tongue.
Yeah.
So you definitely want to put out good words, not bad
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah.
Um, but
Exactly.
we all have stories, even if the stories are bad. That can bless someone going through the same thing,
Exactly.
and we see that. You just did a you have a podcast, right?
Yes.
Conversations that make a difference,
Yes.
right? And you do all kinds of topics and things like that, right? And you talk about authors and their stories, right? So
Yes.
this week, let's just touch on this week, because I really would like to give a plug for this week's author that you spoke with, because um, rescuing women from human trafficking, from domestic violence, is very, very dear to my heart. That
Mhm.
is my ministry. That is what I'm all about. I'm gonna just switch this and put up the www.conversationsthatmakeadifference. Let's put that up there so that people can know how to see your show, because it
Mhm.
airs on every other Tuesday night.
Yeah, every other first and third Tuesday on at 5 o'clock Eastern time on Dream Vision 7 Radio Network. And you can find all the shows on YouTube, just Conversations That Make a Difference and my name, Teresa Velardi, and you'll find them there. And yeah, I'm so glad you brought this up about the Voice Against Trafficking. This is the book right here, Voice Against Trafficking.
Yes.
And Andy Berger is the author of this book. Now, I asked Andy to write the story, write the forward in A Daily Gift of Peace. And this is a really great example. I'm so glad you brought this up, Renee, because this is a really great example of how you can go into places that you didn't think you were going to go if you write something in a book or if you write a book. Going back about a year and a half ago, I was approached to publish a book for someone who was doing a compilation regarding people who were unsheltered. And Andy wrote something in that book. And since I published the book, I read that. And then somehow, some way, I got connected with her, and I've been talking with Andy for over a year. I've had her on my show because, like you, my heart breaks for people who have been subject to trafficking. And it's been something that I followed a long time. Christine Kane has an organization, A21, and that's helping people who have been trafficked. So Andy and I have been having conversation, and then she told me she was writing this book. And so we had Andy and some of the people who have submitted stories to this book this has got a lot of reach. It's got a lot of reach to government agencies, as well as teaching people how to spot someone who is clearly has a child in their possession, if you will, who doesn't belong to them, how to spot them. And then from there, from there, I asked Andy, because of the fact that she came through her own trafficking experience from the time she was a child to the time she was 17, I asked her, because she has come to a place of peace and can go ahead and tell her story from a different angle and help others, give others a hand up. And she had a safe house. She does all kinds of things to help people who have been trafficked. And so she actually wrote the foreword to A Daily Gift of Peace. So from one story to building a relationship, to having her on my podcast, to now having her on my podcast for her book and bringing awareness to something that is nefarious, to being an inspiration as the person who wrote the foreword for A Daily Gift of Peace. So write your stories.
I know. That is something. Wow. Yes. That's why I founded Destiny by Grace Ministries, because we want to be a rescue for those women.
Mhm.
And not only that, to have housing and to be able to bring mothers and children that come out of domestic violence, because whether you're abuse is abuse, period.
Okay.
And it's horrific. And I know, because I lived through it and
Mhm.
I experienced it myself. So here we go, with something I can write another story about, right?
Yep.
So
Yeah.
just like Andy Berger's done, she yay. But I did want to, I'm glad that you reminded me, because I did want to talk about that book, because I wanted to promote that for her while we were on here. But
Yeah.
I also I have forgotten that she wrote the foreword for the Daily Gift of Peace. So
Yes.
Yay. So get them all. And hers again is called A Voice.
Voices Against Trafficking, and it's the subtitle is Courage is Contagious, Uniting Voices and Nations in the War Against Human Slavery.
Yes.
It's available on Amazon and Barnes and Noble.
Yes. So get it. Get it. Everybody go out and get it. Wow.
Yeah.
I think that we are coming to a close here, and I'm so excited that we got to do this. So people just know that, if you want to see this conversation, I got to go watch it myself. Just look up Teresa Velardi or Conversations That Make a Difference on YouTube, and you'll be able to see her interview that was just done this week. So I'm really excited to go back and watch that. That just thrills me. And then I'm going to put back up before we close dailygiftbookseries.com.
Yeah.
So if you want to get in on the friendship book coming up, you can go there. And is there a place where they can just contact you or put their name and email or something in there?
Well, the information's going to be on there, and my email, if you want to just email me at dailygiftbookseries@gmail.com, you can get me there for any questions, or if you want to talk about putting your story in the book. And one more thing I wanted to say, Renee, coming right after Daily Gift Book of Friendship is coming a book that I'm collaborating with someone on. And it's about a daily gift for a peaceful journey through cancer. So if you or someone you know has gone through an experience involving cancer, whether they were a patient, a caregiver, a family member, or if the person has successfully gone through cancer and got a chance to ring the bell, we want to put hopeful stories together because so many people are in that nightmare that we want to bring hope and healing the spirit for people to be able to have a peaceful journey wherever that brings them through the journey through cancer. So, and that's going to be launching in February. So we'll collect stories from that starting right after the friendship book, and we'll through December, and then that'll launch on February 4th, which is World Cancer Day. So if you have a story of hope, please share it. And all the information is on the website, dailygiftbookseries.com. Look for it there, or email me, dailygiftbookseries@gmail.com.
I have two people that have just popped into my mind that are survivors, overcomers. And not that it was easy getting there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There was a whole lot of pain in that. So yay. I'm going to get them connected with you.
Thank you.
I may have to write one of the stories.
Yeah.
I don't know that he's much of an author, but I know his story, so I can help his story out. But anyway,
that's the other thing. You help one another. You're helping one another to get their stories out there, and that person may not be able to write. And here's a tip for you that I give to all of the people who come into whatever I'm doing. If you don't know how to write, that's okay. If you know how to speak and you have one of these, a cell phone, there are apps on your phone, or you can send yourself an email. Just talk into the phone and it will record and transcribe your voice. And then, like for your friend, Renee, they can do that and then give you the audio recording or give you the transcribed conversation that they're having with themselves. And then you can go ahead and write the story from there. So, yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. So, yes, I got you 2 stories for that book.
Okay. Awesome.
I'll make sure you have them if I have to write them myself.
Yay.
So at any rate, yeah, we want to tell people stories, even if they can't tell. So listen, everybody, thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching. Even if you're watching the replay, I'm sure you were encouraged and inspired. And don't forget, September 23rd, you can get all of these books on Amazon for $10 each. So go ahead and do some Christmas shopping or birthday shopping or whatever, because anybody who gets any one of these books is going to be blessed. I'm so glad that you listened to the Lord, Teresa, and did this book series, because I know, sometimes we just can feel down and just need some encouragement, and picking up and just reading a page, reading one little story. Was it take 3 minutes to read that page in the book? And hey, I love the cover. Do you have that one with you? Do you have that cover? Oh no,
I don't have it yet. And
I love it because it's got the beach on it, and I love the
beach
and a seagull, and birds on the beach to me are just free. Free.
Absolutely.
Fish they catch aren't so free, but they just dive down, get them a fish, and go. But at any rate, thank you, Teresa, so much for jumping on here with me tonight and giving us some information about what's going on in this awesome book series. So,
thank you, Renee. Thank you for having me. And thank you for your contributions to the series. I know that they have lifted a lot of spirits along the way. So thank you.
I know, it's so exciting. I'm so excited about especially peace, because so many people deal with anxiety and stress and depression, and I'm like, those are just strictly tools of the enemy. And but a story of peace, a story of something good, a story of hope, a story of kindness can change your whole outlook. And the way the enemy is trying to rob you of your joy, because that might be another one day, huh?
Joy. It's coming. I got a list as long as my arm.
I love joy. I love joy. I love to laugh. I've already thought about my friend, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what happens when you have that friend that you laugh so hard with, right? Anytime you're together, you just laugh so hard. And I'm like, sometimes you almost laugh hard enough to wet your pants. But,
exactly. I was just going to say, you fight for the bathroom because somebody's going to wet their pants.
I wasn't sure I should say that, but I thought, oh, well, it's my show. If I want to say that, I can say that. Because it's true. And most women our age understand that.
Yes.
But laughter just brings floods of good hormones and good feeling hormones, just like these books will bring floods of happy hormones that will bring you to laughter and joy and peace and all those good things. So, Teresa, thank you. And everybody, we're signing off now. So have a good night and get your book on the get your books, lots of them, on the 23rd of September. So we can get #1 bestseller in whatever category it's in, but just help us get there. And whoever you buy these for will love you when you give them the book. So blessings, everyone.
Thanks. Thank you, Renee.
Good night.